Desmond and Christy Scott have filed for divorce after 12 years of marriage, and I think there's a valuable lesson in this story, and I want to talk about it. For those that don't know, Desmond is a successful chef. He gained some celebrity when he was really young, cooking for celebrities, and he's done very well for himself. Christy became famous during COVID in 2020, where she started putting videos up called High Heel Pranks, showing a luxurious home design, lifestyle videos, etc. She then took off. She was traveling all over the world. She had celebrity deals and was doing quite well. They have a beautiful home, they have money. So think about it. You have everything you think you need to be happy, so what can possibly go wrong? And I know many of you are going to say, well, he cheated, that's why they got divorced. Well, that's the end result. We'll get to that in a bit. Now, take away the celebrities, take away the money, take away the looks, the big home, and let's just talk about a young couple who's known each other since they were very young. I speak to divorced couples all the time, and it's very common for people to grow apart, and I think that's what happened here. The person you are at 19 is not the same person you are at 30. What also happens in your 20s for most of us is you discover your passion, and she discovered who she was. And this can have three effects on a relationship. One, your spouse can be jealous of your success. I don't think that applies here because he was successful already. Two, your spouse's insecurities could surface thinking she's traveling the world, meeting successful, beautiful people, she may leave me, etc. And that can cause problems in the relationship. I don't think those two apply in this couple. The last thing that can happen is that you can change with your success, for the better or for worse. And I think her change was too much for him to handle.
We're going to the movies today, and this is the outfit of the day. The theme, 90-degree angle. Young art. What do you think?
This man was fed up with her. He found this persona completely annoying, and he was done. And her as a content creator with her niche, that takes setups, that takes storyboarding, that takes filming, that takes numerous takes. That's like a 24/7 gig. Now to the cheating. Desmond states, Christy and I faced challenges and made sincere efforts to work through them. Toward the end of 2025, I wanted a separation. During this period, that's where the infidelity came about. Now, speaking of infidelity, do you know they're both Jehovah's Witnesses? According to their laws, if you want a divorce in that religion, there's one thing that has to occur. That is infidelity. I think he did this to get out of that marriage. Now, what's the lesson here? You have to understand going into a marriage, especially if you marry young, there are going to be some changes, and you have to adjust to that. You have to understand the person that you're marrying early on may be a different person later, but you have to evolve with this person. You have to be consistently communicating and ensuring that the core foundation and that love between you both is strong and consistent despite the changes. Celebrate each other's successes, be each other's cheerleader, but never forget what brought you there. That core love, that connection. Never let that go, never let it depreciate, because if you do, you're going to end up divorced like they did.
Hey baby, ready for movie night?
Yeah. What's that?
What's that?
Why do you have that up?
It's funny. It's funny. That's your Tinder.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you expected. I wanted to get a divorce in the first time.
Yeah.
But you didn't want to, so I just went on the app.
You went on the app because you wanted a divorce.
Yeah.
That was your get out?
You didn't want to in the first place, and now maybe I'm on this. Maybe you want to now, right?
No, I don't. Jenna, I still love you. But you want to get a divorce, so instead of getting a divorce, you go to Tinder so other dudes can bang you.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
What did you expect?
Like,
what else am I supposed to do?
You have no feelings for this relationship.
I told you I wanted a divorce.
The grass is not always greener on the other side, ladies. It's not, you know? I'm good now. I feel great. And he's super happy with his girlfriend. And honestly, I could not be happier for him because he deserved to be loved and cared about and respected as he should have always been. So I'm so happy that he's happy. Anyways, what I'm saying, ladies, the grass is not greener on the other side. If you have a good guy, take care of him. Take care of him. Trust me, there's nothing good out in these streets.
He got a girlfriend who's treating him well, and she's alone, right? She's alone, and guess what? She went out into the dating world and found out that the grass wasn't always greener, right? And that he had set the bar high, and that this magic Prince Charming from Cinderella was not just going to appear for her and do everything right all the time and be at her beck and call and all of these things. And she had to self-reflect.
A lot of average dudes out here expecting this king treatment from us queens. A lot of guys out here, they are a 6 or 7 at best. And they feel like we're supposed, first of all, you're approaching a 10.
Have you ever seen a 10 who can't get a decent man? And here this is a woman who's in her late 50s who says she's a 10. Ladies, you gotta stop this. If she does not have a man right now who has already proposed to her as of today, for the rest of her life, she will be reserved for pit stops and older gentlemen who see her as a financial resource. Just facts. And it's not because she's ugly. It's because she played around too long with her most important dating years. And the fact that you guys don't know this makes us look at you like something's wrong with you. This woman is balding in a major way. She's in her late 50s and she doesn't know that she's on the half off rack. Meaning, if you want a man who's younger, handsome, maybe has something going for himself, you're going to have to be making his life easier. You're going to have to be paying some bills, ladies. And what's keeping you single more than anything is the fact that you believe that what I just said is preposterous, even though it's your only way out. Right? A lot of you don't understand that you're having so many problems dating because you don't know your dating value. Here this woman is a 4 or 5 on her most amazing day, right? And it's amazing to me that you guys don't know how to shop for good. You do know how to shop for good deals and attack the clearance racks like nobody else's business when you're shopping for yourselves. But when it comes to you, you don't know when it's time for you to be on the clearance rack.
Over 27, time to sell. 30, 50% off. 35, clearance. 40, outlet. 50, Goodwill Salvation Army.
Back to the streets with you.
Thanks to you, my daughter has nothing. Nothing. And I want to know why the house was put in your mother's name when you've got 2 flashy cars on the drive. Speak to your ex-mother-in-law. Is it?
Well, it is, yeah. Listen here.
So could you please answer my question? Why is this house in your mother's name and not why did my daughter not know about this?
Well, unlike your little opportunistic, that's how you say the word, opportunistic, that's how you say it, daughter, yeah? Unlike her, I'm a very caring son. So I thought, well, I love my mother, let me buy my mother a house, in case if I sadly maybe pass away before my mother.
I'm sorry.
But it could be like this. My mother has a nice lovely
You didn't
house.
think to mention this to my daughter? You didn't think to mention it to
I
her?
don't need to love her.
I mean, she married you and she loved you and she
I
trusted
bet.
you, and all the time, her home, which she decorated and did things with the garden,
by my
all that jazz.
with my money.
Was it your money though,
It
or was it
my
your
money,
mother's
though.
money?
Oh, my mum's money. Well, no, I bought it for my mum. It was a gift. It was a gift.
Really? And you couldn't buy flowers like most people do for their mothers.
Oh
You
no,
had to-
I bought the
you had
flowers
to
for your
give-
daughter.
I'm
If you
glad
look
you
there
found me
as
some
well,
music.
yeah, if you look
I
there
am
as well, yeah, there's a nice little flower bush right there. If you want, you can take a flower as well. You can take 2.
You
One for
are
one for your
you
daughter.
are very, very cruel. You are very cruel.
I'm not
You're
cruel,
very, very
intelligent.
cruel. I can't believe
Intelligent.
my daughter was out to you.
Intellectual is what
I
you
don't
can
think
call
you're
me.
intelligent. I don't-
Intellectual is what you can call me.
You're
Because
you're
you're
intelligent.
opportunistic
You wouldn't have
daughter,
put that.
yeah.
His name is under. All that matters is that we're divorced and this house which I've paid for isn't for you.
Well, you haven't paid for it, but it's not under your name, no?
Well, no, it doesn't matter whose name it is for.
Well, it does, because
Well,
we were together.
Okay, well, I bought this house as a gift for my mum.
Well, why are we living in it then?
Because it doesn't matter.
Well, it does, because if you
Well,
divorced.
no, yeah, we're not living in it anymore, are we? Well, I am.
So how long are we going to keep that a surprise for then?
It doesn't matter. You didn't pay a single penny for the house.
I contributed my fair share to this place.
How did you?
Cooking, cleaning, one blessing for you.
Oh, congratulations.
That was the
You can cook and
agreement.
clean somewhere else. Look, you divorced me, okay, yeah? You have no right to this house. I knew that this was going to come because since we first got married or whatever, that's all you're interested in. You're only interested in the financial side of stuff. And then when it's a fan, things start to go a bit low, you call for a divorce. Cool.
You know, what's funny about the Christy and Desmond situation is, you know, you see Desmond online now and he's doing his thing. So first of all, you have so many women up and down his comments talking, oh, you're so fine. You know, he cooks now. Well, he'd been cooking anyway. And, you know, you got to give credit where it's due. Maybe Christy helped him, and Christy's influence definitely gained him a good amount of followers. I think Brother Man it seemed like he had 1 million followers in like 3 days when he started his channel, or his little cooking thing. So, you know, definitely having her around had its perks. You know, a very beautiful woman, seems nice, but you know, he's doing his own thing now and he's good in his own right. And you see one of the comments that keep on coming up on this post is, man, you know, he really looks happy. You know, he's living his life, and, you know, people, and they need to have, and I give it to women. A lot of these modern women, they're consistent. And you say, you know, you shouldn't have to stay in a relationship where you're not happy. And they say that about women, and they say it about him. You know, he looks so much at peace. He looks like he's happy. He's doing this, and this. And honestly and truth, I don't want to speak about their relationship, right, too much to, you know, kind of dissect it. But that's, you know, as a whole, what's happening with a lot of men is they're going to the gym and they're finding a safe space in the gym. They're going to a lot of conventions, Comic-Con, or some of these other conventions where you act a little crazy, and it might be a little dorky or nerdy or whatever it might be, but I'm finding my safe space and being interested in a lot of different things. Like some of these guys are going to whatever these things are, when the women walking around with no clothes on. That's wild work, you know. But you know, they get into a forum or a thread or whatever it might be. Hey man, we go. I think you know, my mother-in-law, her boyfriend was playing darts or something, like he building a dart board thing in his shed on Sunday, you know. So he was like, man, I got to be ready for darts. Men are going and finding hobbies, things that they like to do, irrespective of women, and they're happy. They're fulfilled doing it, and they're finding peace and happiness in those hobbies. I'm finding peace and happiness not having to worry about drama, right? And a lot of men are stepping back from foolishness.
Next man that enters my life, he is required to take me out on 3 dates before he gets my clothes off. I'm tired of men sexualizing me and objectifying me. Yeah, I've made it very easy for them to do. What happened to romance? I want romance!
It's because it's your fault. It's your fault. You created the exact problem you're complaining about. It wasn't men. It wasn't just hookup culture. It's people like you who are so quick to give up what was meant to be sacred for 3 seconds of pleasure. You're freely giving away the most beautiful sacred gift to anybody and everybody. Then you make a TikTok acting shocked when you're left feeling like nothing. Honey, a TikTok is not going to solve a problem that you created. Intimacy was never intended to be fast or casual. Now everybody wants these benefits without any boundaries or commitment. And then they wonder why everything's falling apart. Hey, little light bulb, you can't sleep with random strangers and expect to wake up feeling cherished. If you dream of having a healthy relationship one day and being a great partner, and you're involved in hookup culture and your entire idea of a connection is built on impulse and not intention, here's a little reality check. You have a lot of unlearning to do, and that starts today.
Facts are, if you can't stand being around the person that you're with, then leave them. But you don't want to leave them because they give you a cushiony life that you know nobody else will be able to provide for you, especially now that you're washed up. So you sit there and deal with it despite the fact that you hate that man, until it gets to a point where you divorce him and try to take half of everything he owns, and then you spend the rest of your life being nothing other than a used rag for people to come in. It's actually ironic how much women project, because they're the ones that coined the phrase, oh, just say you don't love your wife. Oh, just say that you don't want to treat your wife well. When they're the ones that typically don't want to serve their husbands, don't want to treat their husbands well, don't want to respect what their husbands have to say, but expect their husbands to give them everything. If he wanted to, he would, and so would she.
What's your body count?
I think in today's era, women promiscuity is looked down upon and it can have real world consequences. So I will not be answering that.
All right. What's your body count?
I'm gonna be honest, from like 18 to like 22, I don't know. I hooked up with friends a lot, but since 2021, it's been like 7.
What do you think it was before 2021 though?
30.
Okay.
I lost count too, but I would say in the ballpark of 30. Probably like 13-ish.
13-ish, okay.
4.
17 to 19.
All right, what about you?
1. We got married very early.
1, okay. Felicity, what about you?
2.
Does it bother you that your husband
He's a player?
He's a little ladies
No,
man.
I kind of find it
Ladies
flattering
man.
that he settled down for me.
He said, okay, there you go. Shona?
0.
All right.
Nothing irritates me more than a man. The end.
Whoever fought for women to get jobs. Why? Why did we do that? I am so tired. I want to just put my feet up. Like, I am... Oh my god.
Notice she said we. Why did we fight for the right to work? So nothing irritates you more than feminism. Modern feminism. Because it's not men that did that to us.
33, I had the harsh realization that I'm not my type's type.
This is good. This is good. Let's see if she can land the plane.
And that's probably why I've been losing in dating.
Yes! Lady, that is exactly what it is. And it sounds so much better coming from you than coming from me. But I want to say I am proud of this young lady because she finally did something that a lot of women will never do. She stopped blaming everybody else, looked in the mirror, and finally told herself the truth.
Remember, it's better to tell the truth.
And that's no lie. Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
I slept with my ex, I said. He closed his book slowly, looked at me and said, I know. You know? How do you know? You're not subtle, he said. You've been trying to hurt me for weeks. And you just let me. You wanted to leave, and I wasn't going to stop you. That's what her husband told her. I waited for the anger. I waited for the pain, something. His face showed nothing. That's it? You're not even going to yell at me? What's the point? He stood up. I'll sleep in the guest room tonight, and we can figure out the divorce details tomorrow. He walked away, just like that. I'd blown up our marriage expecting fireworks and got a quiet exit instead. 2 days later, my best friend stopped returning my calls. We'd been close for 6 years. She knew everything about my marriage problems. I'd cried to her about my husband dozens of times. When she finally texted back, she said that she needed space and wouldn't explain why. Yesterday, I went to our favorite restaurant to clear my head, the place my friend and I always went for drinks, and there they were, my husband and my best friend sitting in the corner booth, laughing, her hand on his arm. He was smiling at her in the way that he used to smile at me. I stood there frozen by the entrance. My husband saw me. He didn't even look surprised. He didn't look guilty. He just gave me a small nod like we were strangers passing on the street. My friend saw me too, and she had the decency to look uncomfortable, but she didn't even move her hand. I turned around and left. I sat in my car for an hour trying to understand what I had just seen. Then it hit me. The way he'd been so calm about everything, the follow your heart comment, the complete lack of reaction when I confessed. He had already moved on. probably weeks ago, maybe months. While I was busy trying to hurt him with my ex, he was already building something new with someone I trusted. I drove to my sister's house and told her everything, and she just stared at me. She said, "You cheated to get a reaction," and he had already checked out. That's brutal. He could have told me, I said, and you could have not slept with your ex, my sister said. My family found out over the weekend. They're split. My mom says that I should have handled things better. My dad won't talk to me. My brother called me selfish. They all think I destroyed my marriage for attention. But here's the thing. My husband never said that he wanted out. He never fought for us. He just let me spiral while he was apparently getting cozy with my best friend behind my back. I confronted her last week over text. She said nothing. She said nothing physical had happened between them until after I had confessed to cheating. She said that she had been his shoulder to cry on for months, that he had talked to her about our problems, and that she didn't plan on developing feelings for him. My husband won't answer my calls. His lawyer has sent over divorce papers this morning. My best friend blocked me on everything. My ex stopped replying after I told him that I had made a mistake. And I'm sitting here in my sister's spare room realizing that I'm the villain in everyone's story.
I am 42 years old. I am single. I'm a mother.
Behold, the 40-year-old single mum. After 15 years in a relationship, she is back. The moment the relationship ended, she started posting selfies again. Her Instagram, a carefully curated grid of sadness. Each caption reads, "Strong, independent woman. She doesn't need a man." And yet, her entire personality is about desperately trying to find a man. "I'm not picky," she says. She just wants a man who is funny, emotionally mature, financially stable, physically fit, 6 foot, loves kids, doesn't have kids, but is amazing with her kid. And of course, no drama. Even though she is the drama. When her kid is with her ex, it's self-love week. Translation, wine and bumble dates with boys half her age, just to feel young again. Her leggings, 2 sizes too small, pulled up to her ribcage to contain the chaos underneath. Ah, yes, the 40-year-old single mom. She's like a car crash. You don't want to watch, but you just can't look away.
The last time I was single, I was 24 and the dating pool was everyone. And now it's like a shallow puddle of age-appropriate men who are old and gross, and I don't want to do that.
Modern women are continuing to act a fool. They think they can continue to act a fool and get away with it. Gone are the days when we think about The Notebook. Great story. In my opinion, fantastic story. But it's about a woman pitching a fit, doing what she wants to do, acting a fool. Going from state to state, acting a fool. I'll give her credit. She did serve as a nurse in the war, so she was doing some good, which most modern women are doing. They do have a skill or a trade or a talent, if you give them credit, right? But ultimately, you're out here acting a fool, so that the good that you're doing is actually outweighed by the bad, because you're acting a fool. And that's what modern women want to do. What they're finding out is that men aren't on the same page. And men are saying, you know what? I really don't like you this way. I really don't like any woman this way. You act a fool, you cause chaos. You act crazy, you talk to me crazy. You embarrass me in front of my family. You embarrass me in front of my friends. God forbid I be an entrepreneur, because you walk in there in my freaking office acting like you own the place, upsetting my staff, coming and making company work parties and work events a disaster, to just a train wreck to be around. It doesn't matter if I'm working for somebody else, I'm working for myself. You always make it about you. And I'm sick and tired of that crap. You're a nuisance. You're a headache. You're a problem. And that's how you get to be 40 years old, sitting in your sister's room, thinking, I am the villain in everybody's story. Well, maybe you're not truly the villain in everybody's story. Maybe there's some stories that people have actually done you wrong. But probably 60, I'll give you a fair shake, 50 to 60% of those stories is you.
I have to tell you, a marriage contract is, in my view, the only contract in the United States where No one explains to you what your rights or obligations are.
How many men before they get married go and put down $500 on a receptionist's desk and says, tell that man in the back to come out here and tell me for an hour what I need to know about one of the most important contracts they will ever sign in their life?
Not many.
Hardly not any, if we're going to be honest.
Like, you lease a car, you sign a contract. I'm going to give you this amount of money. You're going to let me drive this car. If it gets damaged, here's what's going to happen. You know your rights and obligations. Marriage contract doesn't have anything like that. It just says we solemnly pledge we're going to get married and we're married to each other, and that's it. A prenup is really an invitation to having that discussion. Why are we getting married? What do we owe each other? And having an honest conversation about the economy that is marriage.
If a man has no friends, pay attention. If a man has no friends or a very small circle, don't get it twisted. That is not a red flag. That's a man who has mastered himself. A man without friends or a very small circle is a very, very secure man. He's learned that quality matters more than quantity, and he doesn't need an audience to validate his worth. His confidence comes from inside, not from the approval of others. He's not afraid to be alone because he knows his own strength. He is very selective with his energy and who he lets into his life. That is a good quality to have. He walks away from drama and gossip because he has built a peaceful life for himself and does not want to let that go. He doesn't need to be surrounded by people to feel complete. He's comfortable, he's grounded, he's steady, and he doesn't waste time on meaningless relationships. He knows that what he wants, and he doesn't waste time with it. So if you come across a man with very few friends or a very small circle, don't underestimate him. That's not loneliness. That is discipline. And he knows peace. It's not isolation. That is self-mastery. And men like that, they're the hardest ones to replace.
I wanted him to validate my feelings. I told him this over and over again, and he could not do it. And so we would have a conversation. I'd say my feelings. He'd shut down, and I'd be like, see, you always do this. And I would point out all the times that he didn't validate my feelings and how I needed him to change. And I would go on, and then he would just stay shut down. And I was so freaking upset about it. Yeah. Here's why. To me, I was showing him a mountain of evidence that I deserve to feel hurt and that he needs to change. To him, I was showing him a mountain of evidence that I thought he was not capable of loving me the way I wanted to be loved. And here's the simple solution that works, not just for this issue, but for every issue, including when he's upset with me. We pull it back. Let's just talk about this issue this time. And instead of showing you a mountain, I just say, hey, when you just responded by getting really quiet, it made me feel like you didn't care about my feelings, or maybe they were too much for you. Do you mind just reflecting what you heard me say? That's how we became the best at validating my emotions. Because instead of proving to him I deserved to feel hurt, I just told him how right there in this one issue, how it made me feel. And one conversation at a time, we built a new mountain of evidence that he is capable of loving me the way I want to be loved. Whether it's planning dates, or washing dishes, or walking the dogs, or changing diapers. I mean, the list goes on. It doesn't matter. Whatever the thing is, one issue. I'm Morgan from Good Morgan Therapy. I'm a relationship coach determined to put the fun back into love. So if you like content like this, give me a follow.
Not trying to pay $150 on a first date.
$150 on a first date. I mean, who could blame them? Who would want to pay that much money just to get to know somebody? Which, I might add, is the entire purpose of a first date.
$150 is honestly like an average cheaper price of going to eat out for two people nowadays.
Average cheaper price. Where exactly are some of these individuals eating? That's not cheap. That's exorbitant.
If you can't afford that, maybe you shouldn't be dating.
If you're a woman and happen to agree with that particular sentiment, that $150 isn't all that much for a guy to spend on a first date, and you're one of those that actually expects a guy to spend a minimum of that much, then I'm just going to say it. You're not interested in getting to know the guy or starting a relationship. You're simply interested in the perks that you're getting for having someone pay for your meal or your activities. I wonder how many names I'm going to get called for that one.
Girls be getting mad at me when I don't be supporting other girls. And the reason why I don't be like, oh, girls support girls. First of all, let me tell you what happened at work yesterday. This is one of the main reasons. We just sitting there chilling at work and she just come over here randomly saying, I need a new side man. And I'm like, oh no. And she go, girl, don't say that. I'm grown. So to be grown, you have to have a side nigga. Since when? Then I said, nah, I'm just saying no because I ain't no. And she was like, oh, you calling me a? And I was like, yeah, that's a. Like, you, mind you, this girl has a man's and she has what, 1-2 kids at home? You're a. What do you mean you're not? She had the nerve to be like, don't call me no. I was like, no, you're a. So when women get mad, that's how most of y'all think too. Oh, I need a new side man. I need this. And she was like talking about some using him. No, y'all are pathetic.
2025. Women can do anything that men can do. I mean, I really don't see any problem with it. Pumping gas is nothing. She can pump gas, he can pump gas. Like, it's not a big deal.
So that's how you are. I mean, it's true. Oh. Oh. Let me check that out.
What happened?
No, what? Check this out. Let me check it out.
What happened?
I'm just glad I got home. It's flat.
Oh. What you telling me that for?
Huh?
I did real studying on women. And I realized all of you women, y'all might get educated. Y'all might even mature faster than men. But your emotional state stops at age 3. If you want to run this experience, if you have a daughter, go when your daughter is doing something wrong and address her. Then go to your wife or your woman and address them. And they act the same. Women will cross their arms like a kid when they pissed off. Look at all the patterns. Like, when it comes to, I'm talking about just their emotions. They're stuck at 3 years old. I did the research. Just run this experience.
And you know, this is why a lot of men are backing up from marriage altogether. Think of marriage as before, ChatGPT. Think of the red pill, the manosphere as ChatGPT. You don't get everything right. Sometimes it's downright not helpful. I understand that. You don't want to condone people talking silly. You don't want to condone that. But, a lot of people go to ChatGPT or Claude for answers. It's really, really good at a lot of things. And so when you have a contract that you don't understand, can you read this contract and put it in layman's terms? Can you make it simple for me to understand? And that's what a lot of these channels do. They show you things and then they say, this is what's happening. This is what you need to avoid. And people don't like that, right? They love ChatGPT. They love Claude. Oh, give me this answer. Set this up for me. This is how I scale my business. But what they won't do is say, look at Kevin Samuels. Look at MTR. Look at some of these other men that go on these podcasts, whatever it is. I say whatever podcast is actually a podcast, right? Even some of the ladies, you got Lady J, Emily King, Roma Army, Chloe, right? Lauren. You got plenty of these people. I'm thinking of Kate, right? She has a pretty good channel. Even on YouTube. You think she starts doing some stuff on Instagram and TikTok. Fantastic. Go follow these people, right? Men are listening and starting to say, oh, I see what's going on. I understand now. I thought it was just me, but I'm connecting. And it's funny. It really is, because men will go into these spaces in the groups and they'll connect Because you say, well, you need to find connection. Oh, but not connection like that. I don't like that type of connection. But modern women will go into these, are we dating the same man, and all these toxic groups and find connection. Oh, men need to find more friends. Men go find friends, go do what they're doing. Oh, but you don't need to find friends like that. I don't like this group. Break it up. You know what I mean? Men are going into these spaces, figuring out what's going on, saying, oh, so it's happened to somebody else. And society doesn't like it. Modern women don't like it. That's what's happening.
I'm 30 years old and I couldn't be more uninterested in marriage and dating. I've done so much on my own that I'm genuinely unimpressed by the population of men that we have to date. I have not met one person that has made my life significantly easier, because I firmly believe that when you get into a partnership with a man, a woman never benefits. I did the move in with a guy thing and I like daydreamed about it my entire life, and I didn't. I was like, ew, like this is literally like free labor and also like free S work. The thing is, for me, I'm hyper independent. Like I have literally lived in 5 different cities by the time I was 30, and I moved every single time by myself. I also bought a place when I was 25, a mortgage on my own. I know how to do electrical work. I know how to patch drywall. Like as long as I have a YouTube video, I'm good. I own my own business. I set up an LLC. I'm literally doing all these things. And when a man is literally trying to pen pal with me just to be casual, like it gives me the ick, because of what the like, what do you have to offer? Oh, you paid for my dinner. Oh, you paid for my drinks. You paid for my trip. Okay, like I can do that myself. The appeal is not there. Unless a man is truly making my life significantly easier, I would rather be single than be in bad company.
This one's gonna get me into a lot of trouble, but I'm going to say it. This is exactly why so many men want to date younger, because of the attitude that you all have. You think that you get a little bit of success and you are far beyond anyone else. You are way better than what a man is, and he can't do anything to better your life. That kind of attitude is a complete turnoff to a man, because he doesn't want to have to feel like he inserts himself into your life and then has to fight and convince you to like him. He wants you from the start to be interested and to like want a man in your life. He doesn't want to have to be fighting this uphill battle, because that's a losing battle. What end up happening if he continues to fight that fight is that he will be used up as much as you can use him, and then he will be tossed to the side because he's never going to be good enough for you. It is also another great reason to send this TikTok to any man that you're potentially interested in or is interested in you, and then he can see your red flags from the start. I think that would be a fair call.
3 out of the 4 girls I tried to go on dates with hit me with the same exact, and I bet you know what it is. 2 of these 3 girls I tried to take to coffee spots they hadn't been to before, and one of them I said froyo. All 3 of them hit me with something along the lines of, am I only worth froyo to you? You're not gonna take me to dinner? Why can't we have a luxury experience for our first time together? Who the f do y'all think y'all are? First of all, I'm not a trick. I dated a bottle girl. I am 2 steps ahead of all that. Second of all, if you were serious, your priorities are so up. You're looking for something and not someone. And when you fall in love with something instead of someone, that's all the relationship becomes. If you start with luxury experiences, all they're ever going to want is luxury experiences. My ex. And eventually they're going to hold you to that, using lines like, oh, you haven't taken me to dinner recently. That's why I haven't shown as much affection. Mind you, you've done it more and more and more and more since the relationship started, because she keeps saying things like, oh, well, we've only gone to dinner once this week. Of course, I'm not really like feeling too courted right now, so I'm really just not in the mood to have. It's like, we'll start using those things against you. Because why would I sign myself up for over an hour of time with somebody I don't know? I'm trying to get to learn, but it has to be this whole, like, I'm trying to impress you, dinner, wine. Like, why would I do that? A lot of girls online are like, oh, well, you gotta be yourself. Just be yourself. You know what isn't myself? Paying for some butt. Because that's what it feels like when you're all like, you're not gonna take me to dinner, instead of going to do something cute and fun where we can both get the out of there if we don't like each other. What I'm saying is, if you're looking for like transactions, like financial benefits within dating and relationships, you're gonna be single forever. Somebody might court you for a couple years. Oh yeah, here's everything you want. Oh, your skin's not tight anymore. I'm gonna take my money to the next 24-year-old girl with tight skin. Like, y'all think y'all are smarter in the game. You're not. 2 friends in particular that regularly take girls on dinner dates. You know how many of these girls they're taking serious? You know how often they get laid, though? Oh my God, you wouldn't believe it. And they know exactly what they're doing, too.
Men don't have rights. I think that men are just inferior to women. I think no matter what, a powerful man will simp to a woman. Therefore, a woman in every circumstance in life is superior to a man. Any man, if you make more money than me, if you're stronger than me and you're taller than me, you'll still simp for me every single time. So I'm still superior.
She is so full of herself beyond recognition. So completely full of herself that inflated ego at some point is going to become a problem for her. And guys ultimately who simp in the beginning, who don't marry her, right? Guys who are just dating her, ultimately, if they have any sense of self-worth at all, will get tired of this attitude, right? The ego will ultimately catch up.
These days, women seem to want a man who is emotionally available but not emotional. So they want someone who's emotionally available, like, oh, I need him to understand me, and I want him to get where I'm coming from, and I want him to be attuned to me, but then I don't want him to cry. There's quite a few people who feel that way, where a man crying is still seen as being a weakness, but I still want you to be emotionally available to me. And so I think for men seeing stuff like that online, people think it's just funny, but I think that can be really difficult because it stops you then from also being okay with the idea that I should be able to cry, be unhappy, show that I'm feeling upset, depressed, whatever it is. And so I think a lot of what we see online can really play a role in how we feel.
Is it possible for an overlooked 23-year-old to make $100,000 a year from social media? At 20, I was stuck making $60 a day managing Publix, and I told myself I was going to make 6 figures online before 24. I remember being exhausted working 9-hour shifts. People I knew would see me there. I'd laugh it off, but it irritated me because I knew I was capable of more and settling for less. Then I go home, open my phone, see dudes my age, not smarter than me, but building influence, getting women, and making money. And I knew if I didn't figure it out, I'd spend my life competent but unseen. So I went all in on building a personal brand. After a few months of studying hooks and posting consistently, my biz started taking off, but I ran into a problem. I was only making $300 a month and I didn't have any time. I had 2 options: stay at my job and treat content like a hobby, or quit and try to turn attention into income. The job was safe and my mom didn't have to worry, but that was the problem. Playing it safe kept me capped. So I bet on myself and I quit the job. The next 2 years were full of isolation, self-doubt, and no guarantees, but it forced me to learn something. Attention is useless unless you can direct it. So I started positioning myself as a marketing athlete. I built a media kit, calculated my CPM, sent cold emails to brands, got ignored, followed up anyways, and at 22 I closed my first 8K in brand deal. A few months later it doubled, 16K in 1 month. The same month we crossed 100,000 subscribers. But the day I hit 16K was also one of the lowest points in my life. I built an audience, but I wasn't building myself.
For a long time, shorty, we ended up breaking apart. I wanted to put my life to the grind. I'm barely talking to my friends. It's almost as if I don't have any. Isolation, battling demons. I almost had an emotional breakdown, almost crashed out.
Man, I spent the next 2 months just feeling so empty. I hated work so much that I said, and set one goal: prioritize my life over money. I pulled back, reconnected with friends, locked in on my health, and for the first time in months, I felt happy. Then I rebuilt the business differently. I made a system where improving my life improved my income. Instead of getting paid for views, I started getting paid for being more disciplined, more confident, and more intentional. And as I grew into that version of myself, the connections got better, the rooms got bigger, the deals got easier. And at 23, I hit my first 25K month, which pushed me past 6 figures for the year.
Your growth is my happiness. What?
Apparently women cannot do this. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Put your fingers on your chin. No. You gotta listen. Ready?
I am.
Let's try again. Ready?
Okay.
Put your fingers on your chin.
I don't understand.
No, you're not listening.
I'm doing what you're telling me to do.
Listen, ready? Do this. Ready?
Yeah.
One more time.
Okay.
Put your fingers on your chin. Oh, that was good. You did it.
I did it?
Yeah, ready? Let's try another one.
I
Ready?
did?
Yeah. Ready? Put your fingers on your forehead. No, let's try one more time.
I'm doing literally what you're doing.
Take your right hand.
Okay.
Take your right hand and put it on your forehead.
Okay.
Bro!
I'm literally doing what you're asking me to do.
You know, and like Emily was saying, this is why men are opting out of relationships. Oh, well, you know, you bought me dinner, you did this, or you bought me drinks. Oh, I can do that for myself. Then why aren't you? Why are you not doing it for yourself? Why won't you do it for yourself? Well, I can take myself out to these expensive dinners. I can buy myself flyers. Then why aren't you doing it? Why won't you do it? You have so much money. You run your own business. You set up your LLC. Why won't you buy any? Why won't you spread the wealth? Why won't you in turn take care of a man? Why won't you buy him a drink? Why won't you take him out to dinner? Oh, that's not how things are supposed to go. Why not? What you're talking about at the altar is, I will take care of you in sickness and in health. for better or for worse. But yeah, modern women, I feel like they're saying the vows, but they don't actually believe them. That's why they're divorcing men at a 70% clip. I don't believe these vows. If things are going my way according to what I want, then I believe in these vows. But if I have to do a little bit more work than I bargained for and I signed up for, these vows are optional. I'm not going to be taking care of him. He's a man. He needs to get up. But I thought you said sickness and in health. No, I don't want to do that. Can't even buy the man a drink. I want you to buy me a drink. I want you to take care of me. Even if a man proves himself, it's not good enough. You're going to have to do that for the rest of your life, and you're going to be happy doing it. And you're going to be happy not getting anything in return from me, but me smiling and looking cute. What kind of life is that?